Porsche Cayenne 955 prop shaft Weibo have fouled, and it's making a very nasty noise underneath the car, vibrating everywhere. Don't know if you can hear this. Oh god, literally sounds like I'm on a plane on a runway taking off with nothing held down. We're going to do a change of the prop shaft and hopefully remove this noise. When I push up and down, you can see the amount of movement I've got there. And that's mainly due to the Weibo here. As you can see, my bolts are very close together here. That bolt there is meant to be over here, and you can see the massive hole in the rubber. You can actually as well, on the other side of the plate, I don't know if you can probably see on this one, but if you look up in that one there, up in this corner, we'll zoom in, you can see where the bolt, you can see there the metal filings from the bolt, where the bolt has been hitting the flange to turn the drive shaft. Obviously it's all meant to go through the rubber, but where the rubber's, I mean, you can see the massive hole in it. That there. It's just where it rips off, big hole in it. You can see the all the old cracks on the rubber. So yeah, that is what is causing the dung 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 dung. It's just where the bolt of the connecting rubber between the drive shaft and the gearbox, it's just been going dung dung dung. What we're going to do is unbolt all this. These are 18mm nuts and 18mm bolts. We've bought a new prop shaft that goes all the way through to that part there. I'll try to list the link in the description. Paid £218 for it, delivered. Comes with a 1 or 2 year warranty. Comes with a modified bearing plate as well. So we're going to undo these bolts here as well. These are 16mm, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got 2 at the back, 5 and 6, and also these 2 bolts in the centre are 12mm, so 16mm, 12mm and 18mm socket and a spanner is what you'll need. Also at the back of the car, you've got your rear of the prop. You need to undo the 6 retaining bolts and 3 U-clamps with a 12mm spline socket. It's an M12. There we go, Draper Expert M12. Obviously, you can pick up that from any good tool place or really internet. And what you need to do is undo 1, 2 bolts and take the clamp off, and do the same again, spin it and undo the other 2 that are that side, and then the other 2 at the top. You can just see it poking through there. Right, before we do any of that though, you need to remove your exhaust, unfortunately. We'll not actually remove it, we just need to drop it down just so we can get the space to get the prop shaft out. Easiest way to do that, rather than trying to jiggle around with these rubbers and trying to then afterwards trying to get that back through there is an absolute nightmare. Easiest thing to do is just drop down your exhaust mount supports by using a 13mm socket. There should be 2 bolts for every support. Obviously undo 2 there, 2 bolts. You follow the exhaust down, you've got 1 there with 1, 2 bolts, and you've got 2 at the rear of the car. They're all 13mm sockets. So undo 1 there, 1 in the centre of the car there on the passenger side UK, and then you've just got 2 at the back of the car. I'll quickly show you those now. So if you go right up into the rear bumper of your car, you got that rubber support there. You've got 1 bolt there, and the other bolt's at the rear of it, just tucked up under there. Can't really see it well on the camera. And then there's one on the other side. I'll show you that now. We're now on the passenger side of the car in the UK, right at the rear arch. Follow it up, and we're right there. Got 1 bolt there. Oh, that looks lovely, that one. And then again, you can't really see it on the camera, but there'll be 1 bolt at the rear of the mount as well. Again, 13mm socket. You may need to get an extension bar, etc., on your ratchet. So this is the new prop shaft. It's been removed from the packaging. It's been balanced. There's some weights on here. There's a 10g balancing weight on the other end. This is the manufacturer's date, 22nd of December 22. It's now April 2023. So it's been sitting in factory for 3 months. Yeah, everything's ready here. It's all been labelled up to fit, and this is what the new Weebo should look like. Obviously on my one, you can see on the video that my bolt is pretty much over here, and all this is just disintegrated. So this is what the new one should look like. When you fit these, don't forget to remove this this plastic cap. It just holds a load of grease in there, but remove that before it goes on the car. The other bolt out. What I like to do, and I didn't show you on the other one, was just to flip these over and just to put your bolts back in the holes. That way you ain't got to worry about rolling around on the floor, losing them. Obviously if you're in a mechanic yard, obviously you've got shelves and that, but lovely. So your bolts are back in the holes. That one there as well, and then when you're ready to refit your exhaust, obviously just take your bolts out, swing that back round again, and then bolt it back up. After you've removed your exhaust or pulled it down and got it out of the way, start undoing these centre ones. That's it. So we've replaced this one. Just not replace that Weebo at the front. And basically these metal lugs that are actually situated inside this rubber have kind of heat seized themselves onto the flange. So all I'm going to do now is just try to knock a groove into it so I can pry them off. There's one more right up there. It's just come off already. Brilliant. Oh, it's come away. Brilliant. That's this side down. That's in a right old state, that is. Jesus Christ. Lovely. Let's go down the other end and free that side up. That's it. Slide it off, give it a good tug, and there you go. Right, how the fuck do I get this out? Just going to give that a good clean out. Do the same again with the front. Give it a good clean up. Get rid of all that years worth of crap that's been sitting around there. Make sure this spindle here as well is nice and clean, because that will sit inside your prop shaft. That's the difference of the toe. Brand new one, and then my one that's all eaten up. And don't let yours get like that. All I've done now is just make sure that they're the same size and it's the correct one to go back in. Before I fit it, I need to take this little plastic cap out. I'm going to throw shaft towards the back of the car and over towards the passenger side, just so I can get enough room to wiggle this in. Lovely. once you've got it pretty much in position, you can manipulate the backs of the backs in, and then literally get your back end in, slide your front end forward and up. To fit the prop shaft pinion, you slide it through the little groove in the weebo and it will pop into the centre shaft. Up to the groove and give it a bit of a wrestle and it will go in. Yeah, we're going to your bolts there and get your bolt through and a couple of threads on the nut. What I'm doing again is just tightening all the bolts just so it just about nips the plate up, and then I'm going to go over everything after once it's all now in position and give it a final torque up. Right, what I'm going to do is literally just give everything a good wiggle around, just so that all wants to sit where it wants to sit. And now I'm literally just going to go and tighten all the bolts up from the front to the middle to the back. Now once you've tightened all your bolts up on your prop, you need to put your exhaust back up. Threads in by hand. Again with the exhaust system, I'm going to bolt it up so it's nearly there, and then just go over all the bolts after. Just so it want to sit where it wants to sit. Now this is the middle exhaust clamp. Just going to get this one started by hand. Cool. And the other one outside. Now I've fit the new prop shaft. There's a little bit of movement there, but it's a lot better. And I'm now not getting any movement at my Weebo. Brilliant. Right, let's go and take it for a little drive. Obviously, torqued all my bolts up, torqued up my exhaust bolts, that one, torqued up this one, and the two at the back. And there you have it. Once I fitted the prop, no more noises. Brilliant. 5 mile an hour. 60.